All right, Las Vegas Diecast SuperCon 2025. I'm Brendan Allen from ComicCon.com. I'm sitting here on the not the main stage, the center stage on the main floor here with Noel G, Cesar Garcia, and Chad Lindbergh. You know them from Fast and Furious. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Amazing. What's up, Las Vegas? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And Noel.
We're good. We're good. They answered
good,
for both of us, all three of us.
Right.
We're
so,
good.
I mean, one of the things that is really special about this weekend is I've seen you at a convention, and I've seen you at a convention. I've seen you two at a convention. I've never seen all three of you together. What's that like today? Getting together after so long. How many years has it been?
Well, since the movie came out 4 years
2001.
ago.
2001.
Oh, 2000. Yeah, 2000. Thank you. But we see each other all the time. Actually, luckily, we get to see each other. And yeah, I mean, we're the three of us. We're homies, so we see each other quite a bit. Yeah.
See, that's the stuff you could have told me 5 minutes ago
Totally.
before we started.
Yeah, but the other cast, I have not seen those guys in 20-odd years.
So that's nice. So we're here. This is Diecast. It's tied into the automotive community. We've got a lot of street racing stuff here. We had Jermaine Bodie here on a panel a couple days ago. What is it like seeing the Fast and Furious logo everywhere? And the cars that you guys drove on the show and things like that, like you come here, you are celebrities that span across so many different fandoms.
You know, it's crazy to do a movie that you did 24 years ago, and it started off as an independent film to see what it's become. And so, you know, when we first did that movie, we didn't know where it was going to go, what was going to happen, and for it to take off the way that it took off is truly amazing to this day, for it to become one of the most popular franchises in the world of franchises. So to be a part of that is very, you know, first it's a wow, like, oh my God, can't believe I'm in it. And then second, it's, you know, it's just, it's awesome and very appreciative and very humbling to be such a part of such a crazy franchise.
You know, with the fourth installment. But yeah, man, it's been great for me as well. It's amazing to have been a part of something, you know, this big, and that has lasted this long, you know.
Yeah, nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming in a million years. You know, we got cast in this movie, and like Noel said, it was kind of considered a independent for the studio at the time, and we had an amazing time shooting this movie. But the real ride was when it came out.
You know, and I've heard, and I think you might have told me at some point, that a lot of the dialogue and stuff that was happening on set was just you guys hanging out. It wasn't scripted, and they didn't tell you all the time that they were filming, but then they were using those lines and things of you guys just joking around with each other in the film.
Well, of course you got a script that you got to go off of, whatever, but you're allowed to like flavor it up and make it your own. As long as you're not making the story a whole nother story and you're staying in the zone, you're
like,
all right.
Oh shit, there's aliens.
Right. When you go way off book, they're like, whoa, bring it back in. But, you know, long story short, what was cool about the director was he did give us that freedom and allowed us to play with the script a lot, to make it our own, bring our own style to it, our own flavor to it, and a lot of us in the movie did that. So to be able to have that freedom was awesome.
Well, like the big line that you have, one of your most notorious lines was about your last name, but you added that at the table read. You know what I mean? You said that out loud,
Yeah.
and then they later added that into the script. You know, which is amazing. They did give us that freedom.
So I remember when they brought us in for that film, it was crazy because if you remember at the table read, they brought in all the actors that were the main actors of the film, and the director, you know, said, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your character, and, you know, just a little bit about you. I thought I was at an AA meeting, you know. I was ready to be like, yeah, my name's Noel G. I've been an alcoholic for 5 years, and no, it's a different meeting, right? But long story short, we're there at the meeting, and it was funny because, you know, everyone went around the table, and it was like, hi, I'm Paul Walker, and, you know, I play Brian O'Connor, and, you know, I grew up here, and a little bit about himself, Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez. And when it got to me, I said, yeah, my name's Noel G. I got a last name, too. I can't pronounce it. And everybody started laughing. Long story short, when I came back to the set to shoot the very first day, which was that scene the first day, and then we get something called sides. So the scenes that we're going to shoot on that day, you get a little piece of the script of what you're going to shoot on that day. long story short, that line that I said at the table read was in the script.
Well, and that's, I mean,
So they kept it. They wanted me to say it in the movie. So I was like, what? I get writer's credit too?
But I mean, I think that that's a part of the business that a lot of people don't understand. One of the reasons why they do table reads is to get that chemistry and to get those little lines that you guys think of as professionals.
But even if set in the moment, you never know what's going to happen, or, you know, it might be written one way, but now you play it out a whole different way because, you know, the atmosphere doesn't allow you to play it that way. Who you're interacting with doesn't allow you to play it that way. So it could always change in the moment, on the moment, in the moment.
But I think the important thing is that a lot of the relationships that you see on screen are flavored by the actual relationships that you guys had as the cast, as friends, you know, making this film.
Well, everyone was cool. And, you know, you could be on a set or in any business and you could have one bad seed that ruins a whole pot. And so, you know, we were lucky that everybody was cool, humble, friendly on that set. And it felt like, you know, it felt like partying, man. Like there was a moment where I was like, are we filming a movie here? Because we were just hanging out chilling.
Nice. So one of the things I go through and I'm trying to find things to talk about that haven't been beaten to death or whatever, and I found out something really interesting about the Jetta that you drove in the film. Do you know where that Jetta is now?
There's a couple of Jettas, from what I understand. There's one in Germany that makes a lot of rounds with Cody Walker and Fuel Fest. I believe they use it a lot. And then another one of my Jettas is in a museum, celebrity car museum in Missouri with the bullet holes. You know, because there was 2 or 3 cars that they would use for every hero car, so they could blow it up or shoot at it or whatever they wanted to do. And you know, I think the cars are the real movie stars of that movie. You know,
One of the Jettas that you drove in the film was purchased by actor turned race car driver Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
So the kid who was on Malcolm in the Middle is driving around your Jetta on the weekends.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, and now I'm linked with that guy. I've never met him, but you know, people are like, "Oh, did you know that Frankie Muniz bought your car?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard." But now he no longer has it.
Oh, okay.
He
So
no
that's
longer
not
has it, from what I understand. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that I've heard too, so the first film and the several that came after that really stuck with the racing culture and stuff, but then they kind of got away from it. So you've got 10 films out now. They're working on 11th, I've heard, right?
11, and I think they're bringing it back to LA, from what I understand.
But
too.
obviously, you know, the ones that put street racing on the map, you know, we've got Jermaine Bodie here, we've got the guys from the customizing shows and things. Those first films were really core to the community, and they're getting further and further away from that. How do you feel about the new films that are coming out?
Well, you were in one of the newer films, you know, and then you were in 7 as well.
Well, he was in the newest one would be 7 versus mine, yeah. So you can go ahead and.
Yeah, I'll be straight up, man. I'm kind of a little tainted. I don't know the right word to use here. You know, bothered, whatever word you want to use that's kind of in the safe zone, but I just want to be straight up at the same time. The movie for me got a little out there, you know, way too much. It became a superhero movie. I don't know how you go from street racing to saving the world. I wish we would come back to the roots of part 1. You know, it got a little too crazy for me. So I'm a fan of the earlier ones, but not really so much the later ones. Like when they went to space in part 9, I'll just be straight up. That was lame and stupid and had no purpose and was just retarded. And I can't believe they did that. You know, they ruined the franchise. They messing up a classic. You know what I'm saying? So I just, I'm not a fan of the newer ones that keep it 100% real. Just being upfront. I think part 11 is Cars Meet Dinosaurs. Part 12 is Cars Underwater. Part 13 is Cars, I don't know, Meet the Cowboys and Aliens.
I've been to that museum.
It just got too stupid for me, man, straight up. You know, I like part 1. It was more original and stuck to the roots, and that's my 2 cents, bro. But I tell people this. If you like superhero movies and Marvel movies, you're still a fan of Fast and the Furious because that's what it's become.
Well, and they still have the great cars in the newer ones too, right? There's still some really great customs in there.
I'm a fan of the check, though. I ain't a fan of the movie, though.
Telling it like
I look at it this way. Look, it's entertaining. as much as you hate it, I mean, I thought it was kind of crazy, the whole space thing. But at the same time, it makes me curious as to what they're going to do next. You know what I mean? So
Just told, yeah, cars meet dinosaurs.
I want to see
I
it.
could do a review. Cars underwater. No, I'm just kidding.
I think though, no matter what, no matter how far we get, it always goes back to number one, and you know that's what started everything. And I don't know, we all love number one, and there's something about that movie that you just can't duplicate. That was just pure and original, and no one knew that it was going to become what it became. And that was part of it too. You know what I mean? It was a shock to my system certainly, and then you continue however many years, and they keep making them. But like I said, it will always point back to the OG, and you know that's fucking.
Well, and I don't
that's
think
amazing.
you talk to anybody and ask them what they're.
Fact.
And every other film that comes after that is going to try and chase a piece of number one. They're not going to get the whole picture, but they might get the cars, or they might get a couple of relationships or whatever. But then they're not going to be able to put that together again. It's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
So in the show, there's a ton of icons that like people really talk. What are your favorite cars from the entire franchise?
I'd have to go. He said, "What are our favorite cars from the film?" Also as well. I remember Rob Cohen. He saw me in the Honda, and it was funny. He's like, "Why don't we just put Hector in a Honda since he drives one in real life?" I don't know if you know that. Yeah, he saw me pull up one time, and so long story short, that's how Hector ended. Because that was the most affordable, cheapest, nicest car for everybody. You know, it still is to this day, right? But so I'd have to go with the Honda and then the Eclipse. That would be my favorite.
My favorite is the Charger. I didn't have a car on the movie. My car was my feet. So my car was a pair of Nikes. I think I was running in, but I like the Charger. You know, I like Dom's Charger. Yeah.
I would have to, of course, choose my car, the Jetta, because I don't know. Thank you, the Jetta. The relationship that I have with it after all these years, you know, it's special. And there were little Easter eggs on the car too. That my lucky number is 44. And when I got on set, I looked at my car, and they just basically cast these cars with the cast. And I look, and you see on the car, there's a 44 on both. There's a 4 and a 4 on both sides. And then there's a little piece of the Jetta, and I just realized this recently, that says C. What does that mean? No, but
Those
it's
are
not-
his
it's not-
initials.
It was.
If you didn't know, his last name's Lindbergh.
Yeah, so you know, it was just little validations, but yeah, it says CL on there. It's weird. But man, we love these. I mean, you know, everyone knows these cars, right? Everyone sees these cars, and it's nostalgia at its finest.
Okay, so we're talking about the cars a lot, and one of the things, you go around here and you see Chad's car, you see some of the other iconic cars, but one of the cars that you don't see a lot of is Hector's car. And I believe we got a couple of guys from Hot Wheels right here who are going to come up on the stage. They got a little something to say. I see Brendan.
Wow.
I know his name.
Wow.
Oh, they got to sign the waiver, so we got to ad lib for another minute here.
Wow, you guys, it's crazy.
But one of the other important things about the cars, though, is that the cars that you guys were driving, like the Jetta, it's readily available, and people can buy it at an easy price point, and then customize it with the drops or with the body kits or whatever. It's the budget for that. So the cars are iconic because you guys were driving them, but it's also very, very relatable to the people in the neighborhoods who are doing this stuff.
Oh, it started a lot of. I can't tell you how many people still to this day say, "I got into cars because of you. I became a mechanic because of you." You know what I mean? It really did start a lot of people, you know, into cars. Their passion for cars, and I think it was one of the first movies that brought speed to the screen. That you'd really feel like, you know what I mean? You could feel like you were in the seat. Yeah.
Where are we at with the Hot Wheels waivers?
That movie broke a lot of barriers too, because it was also one of the first movies ever where it had blacks, white, Mexican, and Asian people in the same movie, and it broke a multicultural race difference, you know, and we all were in the same movie, and the color of your skin didn't matter. We were all in it for the heart of the cars. So there was a lot of barriers that movie broke that were some quote unquote world records, which is awesome to be a part of that also as well.
All right, so the Hot Wheel guys got their waiver signed. Come on up.
Oh, the big moment.
How you doing, man?
You either have to sit in my chair or have to stand behind me.
I'll stand behind. All right. How you doing, man? Good to see you. All right.
Also coming to the stage, I guess, is Mr. Johnny Jimenez. Johnny from Toy Shack and One of Us Comics is.
Cool.
Test.
Yeah,
Test,
you got to aim
test.
it right
Okay,
in your face.
there we go.
All right.
All right, so we were just saying that there hasn't.
That is correct. So this is a long time coming, and we love all you guys. And Noel and I have been friends for years, and I've been wanting to get this car in the line. We've all fought for it for a number of years, and I'm excited to say we finally got Hector's Civic into the Hot Wheels line.
Yep. I know you probably can't see it, but here it is right here.
Woo!
You guys
All
can
right,
pass it
can
around
we get
here.
a zoom in on here? Yeah.
It was pretty
Kevin-
tricky to make that match the color.
Yeah.
To match the color, it was pretty crazy because the photos show more gold yellow, but in reality it was more green.
Nice.
And I had to
Congrats,
get that
Hector.
verified from Noel over here because I kept asking him, "Is this the right color?" He's like, "No, more green."
I don't want it to.
It is. It is.
Yes, yeah. So Dwayne Vance did the casting, and Kevin Geraldes did the deco on this one. So, wait, when did you say it hits?
And towards the end of this year,
Yeah.
fall.
All right. He doesn't get to keep this one, but we'll get him one soon, very shortly.
What were the challenges that you had, Brian? You guys as a team,
Yeah.
Brendan. I mean, there was a lot of people involved in making this happen. Like,
Yeah. So first of all, the biggest challenge was getting marketing to understand.
Yeah, we had to beg. It took some time to finally beg, and they actually let us.
I mean, in our minds, it was like a no-brainer. You do Hector's car, right? Getting marketing to understand that was a different deal, but we finally got there. I think the biggest challenge, but I think Dwayne did an amazing job of.
Yeah. Also, like I mentioned, this is a Silver Series, but this does have a zinc chassis and body. So this is, I guess, your Chase, but yeah, Silver Series has ABS and zinc. So this is the zinc.
that's the chase of the mix.
It's the one with the zinc chassis because we put one zinc chassis in each mix for Silver Series.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you'll see that in premium as well down the road, But right now it's coming out in Silver Series.
Yeah, I could speculate that's going to be a really expensive car when it drops, for sure.
There's definitely going to be a big demand for this one.
Yeah. And I got to say, over the years, I'm sure all these guys have heard it, and it's been great since we've had a relationship with you guys over the years. And me and Noel and everybody else has told each and every one of you guys hundreds of times, like, we got to do this, we got to do this. And thanks to you guys, this is actually happening. So, I mean, I know Noel's thrilled. Everybody's thrilled.
Oh,
the
me
hobby
too.
is excited. This is huge.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge personal thing for me, too, to see Noel's car done. I mean, this I've been wanting to get this in for years, so very excited.
Anything else you want to say, Noel, regarding the car and it being done? And I know that this is something that it's been on your mind for a really long time. I mean, it's only come out once before.
Yeah, no, the Mexican bald-headed guys always last, man. You know how that goes, dude. 24 years later, but we got it. We here. Nah. But, I'll tell you a funny story, and I'll keep it super quick. I just shared it up here if you guys didn't hear it already. But the way that I drove the Honda in Fast and the Furious Part 1 was I used to drive a Honda in real life back then because that was the most affordable, cheapest car. And for some of the new people, and the director saw me in that car and said, man, why don't we just put Hector in the Honda? So that's how that came about. So long story short, man, for this Honda to come out now as a Hot Wheel car, which baffled me, like, it was so crazy because every car from Fast and the Furious was made except mine. And I was like, and the Honda, and even the Honda without driving it is a popular car in itself. You know, almost every Latino or Asian person, you know, had a Honda, you know what I'm saying? And fixed up or whatever. So it just really took me backwards that this car was never even made or thought of. And I'm like, Honda's like a popular car on its own is what I'm getting at, with or without the movie, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, long story short, fast forward. Even though it's 24 years later, it's so, man, I have no words. You know, I'm speechless. I'm very thankful. I'm very humbled. I'm very like, and, you know, Brian and me, man, we've been friends for like tight, like, you know, and Johnny and the mix and the Hot Wheels team and everyone, like, I just got no words, man. Like, I am speechless. I am so thankful. And for it to finally be here, I have no words. So I just, 1,000 thank yous, man, to the team for fighting for it, to make this happen. They made the dream a reality finally. And so long story short, man, just 1,000 thank yous, 1,000 hugs. I'm so humbled and just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's it, man. Thank you, thank you.
And just so everybody knows, in the Hot Wheels community, this is not a repaint. This is a brand new casting, specifically for Hector's ride.
Yeah. So 1,000 thank yous, man. And no words, no words, no words.
Thank you, everybody.
I was going to say we were saving the best for last, but we're going to still make more new cars. But welcome to the club.
All right, so that is our time. All three of these gentlemen are available upstairs for autographs, for photos, for merchandise. You can find Noel, Chad, and Cesar up at the booths right up there. I'm sure you saw them all the way already on the way in, but I want to thank everybody for being here today. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, man.